Welcome back, everybody, to the Cleveland Guardians franchise here on MLB The Show 22. Today's going to be a really fun episode. For the first time in this series, we are in the postseason. We had to go all the way to the very last day of the regular season for us to clinch our playoff spot, beating the Royals 6-2 and clinching the American League Central by just one game over the Chicago White Sox, who in essence were eliminated. They didn't even get to play in the wild card game. So that's how close we were to missing out on the postseason. In the American League Division Series, we're going to take on the winners of the AL East, the Toronto Blue Jays, who had a really strong end to the season. For most of the year, the Yankees were winning the AL East, but the Blue Jays came in late to take that one away from them. This has been a very fun season so far. A lot of really fun storylines. The emergence of all these young players, guys like George Valera really turning into stars. Great to see the starting pitching and the bullpen play at a pretty high level too. We had a number of league leaders, including Shane Bieber, Franmil Reyes, and Jose Ramirez at the top of some statistics. Franmil Reyes won the MVP. Shane Bieber won the Cy Young. So the two most important awards in the American League went to players on our team. George Valera did not win Rookie of the Year. He finished second, but it doesn't really matter. Valera had such an outstanding season, and for him to be second when he made his debut in the middle of June is really impressive. Certainly a crazy season for Valera, whose potential has gone up by like 4 this year. His ratings have taken a big boost as well, and he's earned it. He's played fantastic. So here in the playoffs, we need to cut our roster down from 28 to 26. So we have to send 2 players down. The first one will be Elliot Ramos, who wasn't horrible this season. 215 average isn't great, but he did draw 24 walks on 172 at-bats. That's pretty good, but we have better outfielders, so he's going to go down to AAA and will not be with us for this divisional round. And then Oinks Quackenbush as well. He was pretty good after we called him up, but there wasn't really anybody else I was willing to call down. Ryan Bliss would have been an easy choice, but since he was a Rule 5 draft pick, we have to keep him on the Major League roster, and I didn't want to outright cut him. So as we now go into the postseason, here's a look at what we're going to do for the lineups. Pretty much the same as how we ended the regular season. Obviously, guys like Miles Straw, Josh Naylor, and Omar Narvaez are going to be platooning regularly. Jalen Davis is going to play against lefties. He hits very well against left-handed pitchers. As for the pitching, again, it's going to look pretty similar. If this series were to go to a Game 5, I'm not sure if I would pitch Adbert Alzolay, especially if it's an elimination game. Obviously, we may want to go with Shane Bieber, so I'm not really sure if we're going to run a 5-man rotation or a 4-man rotation, or hell, maybe we even have a bullpen day or two, just have all-out relievers. So as we look at this Toronto team, they won 92 games, just like us. They won their division by just 1 game. This is a really talented team featuring guys like Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Teoscar Hernandez, Lourdes Gurriel. The pitching rotation is very top-heavy. They have 3 ace-caliber players, but it's not great below them. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Jose Barrios were both in the MVP and Cy Young races, and Alek Manoah, for much of the year, was in the Cy Young race as well, and he must have fallen out right at the end in place of Jose Barrios. So here we go into the postseason for the first time in this franchise mode series with games 1 and 2 today in Toronto at the Rogers Center against the Toronto Blue Jays. Our guys all soaking it in. This Cleveland Ball Club has made the playoffs a number of times over the past decade, most recently in 2020 when we had that weird expanded playoff of like 16 teams in it thanks to the pandemic-shortened season. Obviously, Cleveland has made the World Series within the past decade. I don't need to remind Cleveland fans how that went. Most of the players on that roster are gone, but we still have guys like Jose Ramirez who have been around a while, have the experience of a full playoff run, so hopefully he'll be able to pass that down to some of the younger players. We've got a really fun pitching matchup today. 2 of the best in the American League, Shane Bieber and Alek Manoah. Manoah finished with a 3.04 ERA, 1.18 whip, and 33 starts this season as he faces off against a very talented lineup, starting with Ketel Marte, who draws a walk to open up the game. Good start for Marte. He's aboard. That'll bring up the rookie sensation, George Valera, in his first playoff at bat, getting right to work as he hits this one high and deep in a right center field. That one will bounce in front of the wall, likely for extra bases. A double for George Valera, sliding into second. So the Guardians open up the inning with runners in scoring position and nobody out. They got to drive these runs in. At the bare minimum, at least drive in 1. Jose Ramirez strikes out on the sinker. Not a great start. He went chasing for that pitch. Franmil Reyes strikes out on the inside fastball, and now the Guardians are going to need a base hit to drive in these runs. But a base hit here from Josh Bell probably drives in both. Instead, he strikes out on the circle change. So after getting 2 runners in scoring position to start the inning, Alek Manoah strikes out the 3, 4, 5 hitters, and Cleveland drives in nobody. So here is Shane Bieber getting the start for Cleveland. He just won his 2nd Cy Young of his career. He's getting ready to face off a very talented Toronto lineup featuring Bo Bichette. First at bat of the postseason for Toronto is a fly out to center caught by the young stud, George Valera, for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the following batter, Raimel Tapia, a very talented, versatile outfielder who grounds this one weakly down the third base line, and he is safe at first. An infield single for Tapia as Jose Ramirez wasn't able to get to it quickly. I wish Shane Bieber tried to make a play on that ball. That'll bring up Vladimir Guerrero Jr., lines it to third. Nice job by Ramirez to quickly snag that one, preventing a base hit for Vladdy Jr. Teoscar Hernandez is now up as the runner heads for second. He is safe. So Tapia is now in scoring position, and a base hit here from Teoscar Hernandez should drive him in, but he strikes out on the full count knuckle curve. Good start here for both pitchers. Bieber and Manoah each allowed some base runners, but nobody scores as it's still 0-0 going into the second. Bobby Bradley really emerged onto the scene in the month of September, but he goes down on the circle change. All 4 outs have been strikeouts. That's going to be a walk for Luis Campusano with 2 away, so the young catcher is aboard in his first postseason at bat. That'll bring up Andres Jimenez for shortstop. He also goes down on the circle change. That low circle change from Alek Manoah has been filthy so far as we go to the bottom of the second. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. goes down on the knuckle curve. Both pitchers are on fire right now, which I guess you would expect. These are 2 of the best pitchers in baseball. Cuate Lemea goes down on the knuckle curve as well. So with Manoah, it's been the circle change. With Bieber, it's been the knuckle curve. Both of those pitches have been deadly today. As we go into the third, Ketel Marte rips a single into center field. He is aboard for the 2nd time today. Marte was very good after the All-Star break, but he really did slow down the final weeks of September. So hopefully he can start his postseason runoff strongly. Unfortunately, he's not going to stay on base. Valera grounds into a 5-4-3 double play. Not quite as good of a first at bat as George Valera had to start the game. Jose Ramirez now up, the star of this team, of course, a free agent in the offseason, beats the shift perfectly for extra bases. Ketel Marte probably would have scored if not for the double play, but it is a double for J-Ram, so he's in scoring position for the American League most valuable player, Franmil Reyes, who struck out in his first at bat, and he will strike out again. The inside fastball, just like in the first inning, got him. 3 scoreless innings for Alek Manoah, who has allowed some base runners, but it hasn't been a problem yet. Bo Bichette with 2 away, pops this one into center, Valera under it. And right now, we've got an old-fashioned pitcher's duel. 2 of the best in the American League going at it, as it's still scoreless through 3. Into the 4th we go. Bradley goes down looking on the high and outside fastball. Count was full there, too. He was looking for a walk. Manoah with his 7th K of the day. There's his 8th. Getting Eddie Rosario to go down looking again, full count, but that pitch was very clearly in the zone. I don't know what Eddie was looking for. 4 scoreless for Alek Manoah. Still, neither team on the board. We go to the bottom half of the inning. Raimel Tapia lines it to third. He had a base hit in his last at-bat. Not quite as lucky there for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Vladimir Guerrero Jr., one of the best hitters in our game today. It's that one high and deep into right field. Reyes at the track, at the wall. It's caught. Great grab by Franmil Reyes with the over-the-shoulders catch, looking like an NFL wide receiver as he runs into the wall. Luckily, he's all good. Teoscar Hernandez is now up. Good friends with Jose Ramirez on our team, as that's going to be a grounder to the pitcher. Bieber fields it cleanly. Still, neither team has scored here through 4 innings. The offensive drought continues. Which team is going to be the first one to get on the board? Because right now, neither of these pitchers are slowing down. Campusano gets plunked to start the 5th. I will say, look at Manoah's pitch count. It's at 80. His pitch count is rising quickly. Shane Bieber's is only at around 60, so that bodes well for Cleveland as Andres Jimenez strikes out. I can't see Manoah going past, say, 110. So at most, he's got maybe another inning or 2. Valera grounds it to second, flips it over to short. 5 scoreless for Manoah. Again, I don't know how much longer he's going to last, but as long as Manoah's in the game, there's no reason to think he can't keep going. 2 away here in the bottom half of the 5th as Lemia grounds it to third. J-Ram makes the play. Shane Bieber's only at 65 pitches through 5 innings. If he keeps at this pace, there's no reason to think he can't go 8 or maybe even 9 innings. Into the 6th now, still no score. Manoah's 100th pitch of the day gets Ramirez to go down looking. A lot of full counts that Cleveland is getting called on strikes. That'll bring up Franmil Reyes. Pair of strikeouts today. Makes it a hat trick. Again, Reyes goes down on the inside pitch. This time a circle change. Manoah with his 11th strikeout of the game. That'll bring up Josh Bell now. 1-2 pitch. Bell skies this one high and pretty deep in a right field, but not deep enough as it is caught for the final out of the inning. We are through the top of the 6th, and there is still no score. Both offenses are really struggling. Can Toronto finally get it together in the bottom half of the inning? Adam Frazier, here in the bottom of the 6th, leads it off, and for the first time since the bottom of the 1st inning, the Blue Jays have a hit. Just their 2nd hit of the entire game. We'll see if they can capitalize. Alejandro Kirk gets Toronto's 3rd base hit of the game. So now maybe this is a little turning point here for Toronto, opening up the inning with 2 base runners and a real opportunity to drive them in. Bichette strikes out on the fastball. Big out for Shane Bieber. Ground ball could end the inning here. It's Raimel Tapia. He singles that one into center. That should score a run. The throw to the plate from Valera is not in time, and we finally have a run. It took nearly 6 innings, but it's Toronto who strikes first, courteous of an RBI single for Raimel Tapia. That'll bring up Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who crushes it into center field. Valera at the wall. It's gone. 3-run home run for Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and this game has been just ripped wide open as it's now 4-0 Toronto. Big swing from Vladdy Jr., and Bieber's day is done just like that. 5 1/3 innings, 4 earned runs. I know that doesn't look great, but through 5 innings, Shane Bieber was dominating, and it got away from him here in the 6th as he'll be replaced by Camilo Duvall, who had a solid regular season, 3.67 ERA, 1.25 whip. We'll see what he can do here against the rest of the Toronto lineup, who is now starting to feel themselves. This stadium is really fired up for the first time all day. And, well, it looks like the Toronto lineup's going to keep going. Teoscar Hernandez hits a home run into the right center gap. Toronto goes back-to-back. A 3-run homer for Guerrero, a solo shot for Teoscar Hernandez, and it's now 5-0. Gurriel lines it to first. Bell tries to quickly get it over. He does for the 2nd out of the inning. This place is still rocking, though. Toronto has all the momentum right now as that brings up Matt Chapman, who strikes out on the 2-seamer. Big inning for Toronto as they score 5, courteous of a 3-run homer by Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Very next batter, new pitcher, didn't matter. Teoscar Hernandez hit a home run as well. So it's a 5-run deficit as Tim Meza checks in for Manoah in the top of the 7th. 4.5 ERA. He faces off against the pinch hitter Miles Straw, who swings at a pitch that he absolutely shouldn't have, and Meza makes the play. Cleveland's plate discipline today has been pretty bad. They're swinging at pitches they shouldn't. They're letting go of pitches that they also shouldn't. Eddie Rosario singles into center, a little lefty-on-lefty crime. So Rosario is aboard. Maybe this will be a turning point for Cleveland. Luis Campusano draws a walk. Campusano's reached base on all 3 of his at-bats today. He's walked twice and was hit by pitch. Pretty productive day for him. He's still got an OBP of 1,000. Andres Jimenez goes down looking on the sinker. With the lefty killer, Ketel Marte up next. The Blue Jays made a pitching change, replacing him with Yimi Garcia as Garcia walks Marte. So the bases are now loaded for the rookie, George Valera, to break the game open or strike out at a pitch in the dirt. Not ideal. So the Guardians leave the bases loaded. And man, things are not looking good for them as they trail 5-0 going into the bottom of the 7th in a beautiful night here in Toronto, Ontario. Nick Sandlin is in for the Guardians, 3.39 ERA, 1.39 whip. Had a really solid season here. The talented righty looking to not let Toronto extend the lead is Kuate Lemia, an international subscriber-made player, strikes out. Good start. That'll bring up Alejandro Kirk, all 5'8", 240 pounds of him. Lines out to left, caught by Rosario. Good 1-2-3 inning. But Cleveland's offense has got to get it together here. They have not done much of anything except for get base runners on in the 7th, just to do nothing with them. Dominic Leone is in for the Blue Jays here in the 8th, 3.06 ERA. His first batter is Jose Ramirez, who goes down on the high heat. Another strikeout for this Toronto pitching staff. That'll bring up the AL MVP, Franmil Reyes, 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. He's going to make it 4 in a row. Not a great postseason game here for the American League MVP, going 0 for 4 with 4 Ks. Josh Bell lines out to third, caught by Chapman. And the rough offense continues here for Cleveland as it's still 5-0 going into the bottom of the 8th. The veteran lefty, Jose Alvarez, is in for the Guardians, 3.69. Nice ERA. With 2 away, faces off against Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at the home run earlier. This one goes high and deep and a right. Reyes cannot make the play. Guerrero rounding second, and he's actually going to hold up. So it's going to be a 2-out double for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. That'll bring up Teoscar Hernandez, who homered in his last at-bat. This one could drop for a hit. It will not. Good job by Franmil Reyes to hustle over to it. So now we go into the 9th inning. 5-0 lead here for Toronto. We'll see if the Blue Jays can close it out as they bring in Jordan Romano to finish off the game. This would be a historic playoff comeback here for Cleveland. Not that their offense has shown any signs of, doing that. Miles Straw leads the inning off. He's going to fly this one into center field, caught by Tapia for the first out of the inning. That will bring up the following batter, Eddie Rosario. He does have a base hit today, 1 for 3, and he will ground this one nicely up the middle, but because of the shift, Toronto will get him out. So Cleveland is now down to their final out of the ball game. They're going to bring in Josh Naylor as a pinch hitter for Luis Campusano as he pops this one to third. Chapman under it. And the Toronto Blue Jays win Game 1 of the American League Division Series by the final score of 5-0. A dominant pitching performance really for both teams. The Blue Jays scored all of their runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Other than that, there was no offense today. We hit the ball horribly. Our plate discipline was horrible. And we struck out 15 times. Shane Bieber did not deserve the loss. He had a bad inning, but through 5, he was dominant. One of the best outings I've seen from him. And the bullpen did a more than fine job. It was just that Toronto's pitching completely overpowered our offense, and really everybody in our lineup looked totally outmatched at the plate. So that brings us to a pivotal Game 2. Aaron Savale was scheduled to pitch, but to be honest, right now, I think I trust Tristan McKenzie more. This is a must-win game for us. We do not want to go back home trailing 2-0. So having McKenzie pitch now not only means we're having, in my opinion, our second-best starter pitch today, but if this series does end up going 5 games, McKenzie should be on 3 to 4 days rest, and who knows, maybe if needed, he could be available for a few innings. So we're certainly thinking about the long term here, but also the short term, how we can win this game. And in my opinion, the best chance of doing that is with Tristan McKenzie on the bump. Very important game here today. We cannot afford to go down 2-0 and already have an elimination game, which would be the following Monday. This game is being played technically on a Saturday. Here's a look at the lineups. Josh Bell hitting leadoff today. Cleveland mixing it up a little bit. Miles Straw getting the start at shortstop as the American League Cy Young candidate Jose Barrios is on the bump here for the Blue Jays. Had a great season in Toronto and has been worth that trade and that massive contract they gave him as Josh Bell opens up the game with a walk. So Cleveland has their lead runner aboard. That'll bring up George Valera, 1 for 4 with a double in the last game. He also had a double play in that game, and well, he gets a no. He's safe. Not quite a double play. Throwing error out from Bichette. So there's still a runner on first. 2 away for Franmil Reyes, who strikes out on the slurve. Reyes so far in the postseason is 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts. Doesn't really get better than that. So here's Tristan McKenzie coming off the best season of his career. 16-8, 3.3 ERA. As that one from Tapia is going to deflect off of McKenzie's back and go for a base hit. McKenzie a little bit shaken up, but he's going to be a tough cookie and stick it out. With 1 away, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. lifts that one into center for a base hit. Tapia rounding second, headed to third. Guerrero with smart base running. He goes to second, so that'll be a double, and the Blue Jays have runners in scoring position. Great opportunity to drive some guys in. Teoscar Hernandez hits a pitch out of the zone, but he's still going to get that one into right field. Reyes completely misplays it. That one should go for extras. Hernandez rounding second, and it'll be a 2-run triple. That was a good pitch from McKenzie, too, but Teoscar Hernandez got that on the sweet spot of the bat. Good base running, bad defense as Gurriel grounds it to first. Bell could go for the easy out. Instead, he throws it home, and the runner is safe. Josh Bell's thought process is that it's the playoffs. Maybe sometimes you got to get risky, and, well, it backfired. So it's now 3-0. Chapman strikes out looking on the way inside fastball. Good pitch by McKenzie, who's obviously not having a great first inning today. Kuate Lemia up, lifts that one over the glove of Ketel Marte for a single, and the hits keep on coming for the Blue Jays here in the bottom of the first inning. Already leading 3-0 with 2 more runners on. Big opportunity for Frazier, who weakly grounds it over to Bell. Bell is going to flip that one to Tristan McKenzie. In what is a must-win game, too, Cleveland knows they have to set the tone, and, well, they have not done that whatsoever. 3-0 through 1. We go to the second. Ketel Marte draws a walk. Marte was really the only productive player offensively in Game 1 for Cleveland. He got on base a number of times. And he's not going to stay on base here as Miles Straw grounds into an inning-ending double play. Straw thought he was safe, doesn't agree with the call from the umpire there at first base. Still 3-0 going into the bottom of the second. Alejandro Kirk leads Veening off, grounds it to first. Josh Bell has a stroke, and then he gets rid of it. Okay, that could have been kind of bad. First out of the inning there as Kirk is retired. That'll bring up Bo Bichette. 1-2 pitch. That pitch way high and out of the zone. I don't know what Bo thought that pitch was going to do. Nice strikeout for McKenzie, who I think has done a good job of locating his pitches. The Blue Jays just hit them well in the first inning. Raimel Tapia goes down on the off-speed curve. Good inning for McKenzie as it's still 3-0. Cleveland yet to get a base hit today. Eddie Rosario looking to change that here in the third. Yeah, that pitch literally hit him and he swung. That's a perfect description of how this game is, or really this series as a whole, has gone for Cleveland so far. And then on the very next pitch, he's going to actually hit it pretty well, but flies it out to center. Caught by Raimel Tapia for the first out of the frame. Jose Barrios pitching arguably even better than Alek Manoah did, and that says something. Luis Campusano hits that one nicely in the right, but it is caught. Pretty sure that's the first time in the entire postseason that Campusano hasn't been on base, yet his average is still at 0. He's now 0 for 1. Josh Bell grounds that one off of Barrios' glove. Almost was a base hit, but really good defense from Barrios. Toronto's defense has been quite impressive here in this ball game, and so far, through 12 innings of playoff ball, the Guardians have 0 runs scored. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. leads off the bottom of the third. Nice play by Ketel Marte. The shift works out really well. Seems like Tristan McKenzie is starting to get comfortable, but that's not going to matter if the lineup is going to do absolutely nothing. Lourdes Gurriel hits that one up the middle. Miles Straw playing short today. That is one of his backup positions with no Andres Jimenez in the lineup. As Straw makes the play, another scoreless inning for McKenzie, and this one remains at 3-0. The 2-3-4 hitters up here in the fourth. The only problem is the 2-3-4 guys, Valera, Ramirez, and Reyes, have all been horrible so far in the playoffs. Valera strikes out on the high fastball, second of the day for Barrios. 2 away here for Franmil Reyes, and for the first time in this postseason, Franmil Reyes puts the ball in play. It only took 6 at-bats for the MVP of the American League to put the ball in play, and it's a fly out to center. 4 scoreless now. That's 13 total innings without a run here in the playoffs. 13 and counting, I should say, as Matt Chapman leads off the bottom of the fourth. That one looks like it could go for extra bases. It's a double into right field. Good swing from Chapman. The Blue Jays looking for more here, leading by 3. So with Chapman on second, doesn't look like they're going to drive them in. 2 away for Kirk, grounds it to third. Ramirez could have just tagged him, but he makes the throw to first instead, does the same thing. So now we move into the 5th inning. Ketel Marte up. Count is 3-1. Marte draws a walk. I have to add real quick, Jose Barrios is pitching a no-hitter right now. Cleveland does not have a single hit today after just 4 in Game 1. Bobby Bradley then draws a walk. So, hey, at least Cleveland's getting some base runners. Eddie Rosario now up. 1-2 pitch. Rosario hits that one into the gap. First hit of the entire game for Cleveland, and that should score a run. It took the Guardians over 13 innings, but they drive 1 in, trying to make it 2. Not going to happen. Bradley is gunned down by Bo Bichette. At least Cleveland is on the scoreboard, though. It took them over 13 innings in the playoffs to do that. Campusano flies out to center, caught by Tapia. Not a bad inning, though. The Guardians got out of the no-hitter. They finally scored for the first time in the playoffs, and it's now 3-1 as we move into the bottom of the fifth. Tristan McKenzie still in the bump, still pitching pretty well as he gets Raimel Tapia to go down looking. Tapia thought that was ball 4. The umpire behind the dish says otherwise. 2 gone now here for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He strikes out as well. That'll probably end Tristan McKenzie's day. Overall, I thought he pitched pretty well. Obviously, he struggled early, but 4 consecutive scoreless innings. The problem is the Cleveland offense hasn't done a whole lot to support him. Josh Bell leads off the 6th. Nice play by Bo Bichette at short. Good hustle from Josh Bell. Nearly safe at first, but to no avail. So Bell is retired. Good defense from Mr. Flo. 2 away now for Jose Ramirez. Count is full. That would have been ball 4. But again, Cleveland's plate discipline, which was fantastic in the regular season. Guardians finished top 3 in walks and also top 3 in bottom of the league in strikeouts. But neither of those have carried over to the playoffs. Keenan Middleton in here in the bottom of the 6th for his first playoff appearance of the year. 3.46 ERA in the regular season as Teoscar Hernandez starts it off, hitting that one pretty high into left. Rosario makes a play for the first out of the inning. Teoscar hit that one pretty well, but Cleveland is able to get the out. That'll bring up Lourdes Gurriel Jr. He's going to fly this one into right. Can Reyes get to it? He does. Good defense for the Franimal for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Matt Chapman. Had a double on his last at bat. Goes down looking on the circle change. Good inning for Keenan Middleton. He goes 1-2-3, retires the side. We advance to the 7th, still 3-1. Ketel Marte up to the plate, and he crushes this one into right field. That baby is gone. A solo home run for Ketel Marte, and it's a 1-run game. Marte has been very good in the postseason. He is 1 for 1 today with a home run and 2 walks. The team's first home run of the postseason, and as it stands now, through just over 15 innings of play in the postseason, Marte is the only Cleveland batter whose OBP and OPS is higher than it was at the end of a regular season. Rosario is currently the only player who has a higher OPS than his regular season total, and everybody else just has not stepped up at all, quite frankly. Bobby Bradley up to the plate. He strikes out on the fastball. Jose Barrios still in, still pitching really well. Cleveland's offense is doing a little bit better, but they still only have 2 hits and 2 runs. Josh Naylor up to the plate here as a pinch hitter for Straw. He hits that one pretty nicely into center. It will be caught by Tapia. Again, not a horrible inning. Solo home run for Ketel Marte. And the Guardians have it within 1 as it's 3-2. Jose Alvarez in here in the bottom of the 7th for Cleveland. Pitched a shutout inning in the 8th in Game 1. As that one is lined over to first. Nice play by Josh Bell to get the out. That's Adam Frazier who hit that one, the former Pirate, Padre, and Mariner. He's been bouncing around a little bit. Kirk flies that one into right. Reyes completely drops it. Yeah, that one just completely went out of his hands. Is that Jalen Reagor patrolling the outfield? My God. So Kirk is aboard with a double. I don't think they counted that one an error, which makes no sense. Bo Bichette goes down looking. Alvarez gets through the inning. With 2 to go, it's a 1-run ball game, 3-2. Toronto ahead of Cleveland. The Blue Jays still have not scored since the first inning, by the way. Scott Alexander, the lefty, checks in here in the 8th. 3.46 ERA as he starts with Eddie Rosario, who's been hitting lefties well lately. And, well, he chopped that one. That is going to go for a base hit. That one was not hit well. I think the bat went farther than the ball. But, hey, it still goes for a hit. Jalen Davis up here for Cleveland. He hits lefties well, but he didn't even hit that ball. Striking out on the circle change, frustratingly, walks back to the bench for the first out of the inning. Josh Bell is now up. He's going to ground this one to short. Big opportunity to turn 2, and they do. 6-4-3 double play. So the Guardians are going to have to score at least 1 in the 9th, or else they are in a whole lot of trouble. James Karinchak in for Cleveland, 2.13 ERA in the regular season. He was fantastic as he faces off against Raimel Tapia, who goes down on the knuckle curve for the first out of the inning. Good work there from Karinchak. That'll bring up Guerrero, who dribbles that one to third. Ramirez looking to make the play. It's going to be close. He got him. Nice throw by J-Ram for the second out of the inning. So Karinchak just looking for one more to get the 1-2-3, and he does exactly that, striking out to Oscar Hernandez on the low fastball. So we go into the 9th inning. The Guardians need at least one to keep the game alive as they go up against the closer Ryan Stanek, who finished 45 games a season ago with a sub-2 ERA. 2, 3, 4 hitters due up, but again, Valera, Ramirez, and Reyes have all underwhelmed in the postseason. But after those three, it's Ketel Marte. So one of these three's got to get on base, and it's not Valera, who grounds out to short. That'll bring up Jose Ramirez 0 for 3 today. Count is full. He draws a walk. So unless Reyes grounds into a double play, this means Ketel Marte, who's been dominant so far in the postseason, will get to hit. Reyes then draws a walk. Okay, things are getting spicy. Base hit for Marte, ties it, extra base hit, probably takes the lead. Huge opportunity for Marte, who homered in his last at-bat. 2-1 pitch, 1 out, 2-on. Marte hits this one nicely in a left center field. That one should go for extra bases. Ramirez rounds third, headed home. Reyes is going to hold up at third, and we have a tie game. An RBI double for Ketel Marte, who single-handedly has kept Cleveland in the ball game. The Guardians can break this one open here in the top of the 9th. 2 runners in scoring position for Bobby Bradley. He strikes out on the fastball. So now Cleveland's going to need a base hit here. If they do, they'll probably score 2. Huge opportunity for the pinch-hitting shortstop Andres Jimenez. Count is 1-2. That pitch hit him. Looks like he might have went around. The umpire says he didn't. So Jimenez will take his base. Now the bases are loaded for Eddie Rosario, who's been good today. 2 for 3. Count is 1-2. Hits that one high and deep. And right center field. Go ball. Go at the track at the wall. It's caught. This place would have exploded if that was a grand slam, but it is caught. So Cleveland stays alive. RBI double for Ketel Marte brings us to the bottom of the 9th. Karinchak remains in the game as he starts it off striking out Lourdes Gurriel Jr. for the first out of the inning. Gets Chapman on the knuckle curve for the second out of the inning. Chapman frustrated with himself. Karinchak needs one more, and we could be going into extra innings as this one is flown in center, caught by Valera. Through 9 innings, we do not have a winner. Tied at 3, going into extras. Keep in mind, the extra innings runners rule does not affect the postseason, so there will be no runner on second to start the inning. I think Cleveland has a little bit more momentum right now. The Guardians' offense has been better in recent innings. Toronto still has not scored since the first. Yimi Garcia in for the Blue Jays. He recorded an out in Game 1, but his ERA is 0. The pinch-hitting catcher, Omar Narvaez, opens up the inning, drawing a walk. So Narvaez is aboard. Cleveland only has one position player left on the bench now, and that's Ryan Bliss. Everybody else has played today. Josh Bell then draws a walk. Okay, things are getting interesting. The lead runners are aboard. 2, 3, 4 hitters due up. Valera strikes out. He is 0 for 5 today. Not looking all that good. 2 away here for Franmil Reyes, who does not have hit yet in the playoffs, but now would be a good time to change that. And he's going to ground that one right to Bichette, flips it over to Frazier. So Toronto gets through the 10th. We go to the bottom half of the inning where the Blue Jays will have an opportunity to walk the ball game off. We'll see if they can do it. Nick Sandlin enters the game here for the Guardians. He pitched a scoreless inning in Game 1. We'll see if he can get another one here in Game 2. We start off with Bo Bichette. Grounds that one past the diving glove of Josh Bell for a base hit. Okay. So Bichette is aboard. We'll see if Toronto can drive them in. Raimel Tapia up as Bichette goes to second. He's out of there. Inning over. Omar Narvaez guns him down behind the dish. And we are headed to the 11th. Great play by Narvaez. Part-time ball player, full-time sniper. Honestly looked like he was safe according to the replay, but we are not complaining. Tim Maeza in for Toronto. He pitched 2/3 scoreless innings in Game 1 as he starts with Ketel Marte, who strikes out. Marte frustrated with himself, but he has been so good today. Really the only reason why Cleveland's offense hasn't been totally dreadful. Bobby Bradley up, lefty on lefty crime, and Bradley strikes out. We probably would have put a substitute there, but again, the only position player left on the bench is currently Ryan Bliss, and he's not much better against lefties. Andres Jimenez strikes out as well, so it's a 1-2-3 inning for Maeza. We go to the bottom of the 11th. Nick Sandlin still in for Cleveland as he walks the speedy Raimel Tapia. Tapia was supposed to hit in the 10th, but after Bo Bichette got caught stealing, he instead leads off here in the 11th. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. thought that one was a ball, but he does not get the call. Goes down looking on the low sinker. Teoscar Hernandez goes down looking on the slider. Nice pitch there from Nick Sandlin. We'll see if he can get out of the inning against Gurriel, and he draws a walk. That pitch looked like it was a strike, to be honest. Some of these calls from the umpire are really inconsistent, but I guess that's what happens when you have Angel Hernandez calling playoff games, as Matt Chapman swings and misses. We do not have a winner through 11. Into the 12th we go, tied at 3 here in Game 2 of the American League Division Series between Toronto and Cleveland. Omar Narvaez goes down looking on the sinker. Nice pitch from Maeza, who remains in the game. Josh Bell now up, grounds it to first. Great play by Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and Cleveland doesn't drive anybody in here in the bottom of the top of the 12th. So we go to the bottom half of the inning. Camilo Duvall in for the Guardians. He pitched 2/3 of an inning in Game 1 and allowed a solo home run to Teoscar Hernandez. Kuate Lemia opens up the inning, swinging and missing on the slider. 2 away for Kirk. I think he swung before that pitch was thrown. So a 1-2-3 frame for Duvall. Still no score here in the extra innings. This game might go all day. Neither offense looks like they can get anything going in the extra innings. Dominic Leone in here in the game in the 13th. Both teams only have 2 relievers left in their bullpen. For Cleveland, it's Ryan Weathers and Emmanuel Clase. Jose Ramirez gets plunked, so he is aboard. Now the Guardians have a runner on base for Franmil Reyes. All he has to do is not ground into a double play. What does he do? Say it with me, kid. 6-4-3 goes down Reyes. And Ketel Marte would have been the next batter, too, which is unfortunate. So we go into the bottom of the 13th. Duvall still in as the Blue Jays look to finish the game off. Raimel Tapia draws a walk, so he is aboard. That'll bring up Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who is a quiet 1 for 5 today. Hits this one high and deep in right center field. This could end the game. Tapia on his horse, rounding third, headed to the plate. Weak throw from Reyes, and the Toronto Blue Jays walk it off in 13 innings as they defeat the Cleveland Guardians by the final score of 4-3. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is the hero, being ambushed by his teammates, and Toronto leads the ALDS 2-0 as they win 5-0 in Game 1 and 4-3 in 13 in the second game. Cleveland battled here, and again, the pitching really did well. We did not allow a run before this one since the first inning. The problem was the offense. We had guys who played well. Ketel Marte was good. Eddie Rosario was good. How about the other guys? Other than Marte and Rosario, the amount of combined hits for the rest of the team, 0. In a 13-inning game, we had 7 of our 9 starters and all the bench players who came in record 0 hits. That's embarrassing. We did draw 8 walks, but still, embarrassing. Tristan McKenzie pitched well. The bullpen pitched well. The pitching was really good for a second game in a row. You need good pitching in the postseason, and our pitching's been fantastic. But we also need run support, and we haven't really had that. At least we scored 3 today, but even so, we had 2 guys carry the offense. In baseball, you cannot have 2 players do it all. So we've got some decisions to make for Game 3. Who do we start? Do we go with Quantrill? Do we go with Savale? We've got a lot of choices to make here, and it's a big one. It's an elimination game. If we lose, we're done. So our backs are against the wall. We need the offense to step up, and we need the pitching to keep doing their thing as we return home to Progressive Field in Cleveland. That's going to wrap up the episode. What do you think we need to change here for Game 3 as our backs are against the wall right now? Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.